Hello, everyone. Welcome to your Bodybuilding.com podcast. I'm Nick Coleus. I'm an editor up in this here building, Bodybuilding.com. Heather Eastman is here as well. She's a personal trainer, physique judge, and competitor. And then we also happen to have Paige Hathaway here with us today.
Random, just hanging out.
Paige is someone that Instagram has been trying to get you to follow for a really long time. So do it. What are you waiting for? She's right there.
I like that.
Yeah.
You're like my hype man.
Also, popular fitness model, creator of a bunch of popular challenges, Fit in 5 challenges.
Yeah.
5 weeks, not 5 days.
Yeah.
Also, you have a bunch of other stuff going on.
Tons.
Starting a supplement line, clothing line. You're out there.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So, Paige Hathaway, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks. That's a really good intro.
Thank you. So now you're in LA these days, right? And by all appearances, pretty comfortable there.
Yeah.
But you grew up in flyover country like us out here in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yes.
So I was curious, since we're in Boise, which nobody cares about, and you came from Oklahoma, which nobody cares about. Do you feel like being out there kind of in the boonies a little bit where there's not a big fitness culture necessarily, there's not like a scene, do you feel like that helped you?
I think it did. You know, I used to not really appreciate as much where I came from.
When you're there, it's really easy to not appreciate it.
But now that I live in LA, I appreciate it so much more. Mm-hmm. And I do think it helped a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like how?
You know, I think you have to really strive to push harder. No one, starting out, I was like, nobody knows who I am. I'm from Oklahoma.
Where
you know
in
what
Oklahoma?
I mean? Outside of the city,
Okay.
Mustang. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. You probably don't know what that is.
The Mustang?
The Mustang, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I was like, no one knows who I am, so I really have to make a big impression. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did.
Okay. And your first gym was just hole-in-the-wall gym in Mustang, Oklahoma?
Yeah, that's, you know how I got started was I had a guy that was a hairdresser. He was opening a gym, and I don't know, he was like Mr. Miyagi. He like saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and he really pressed hard on me to do fitness when I was like, fitness what?
Did you have really
wax
any?
on and wax off?
Yeah,
I felt stuff.
Good. Get those.
He was
Still one of the best training montages ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean that's how I started, just from him seeing like a vision in me. And then
were you doing really anything fitness-wise?
No, I mean I
lifting
played
at that
sports
point,
growing up, and I was like someone that did classes every now and then. Mm-hmm. You know, I would jump into like one of those step classes at the gym every now and then, but I wasn't like going to the gym and lifting weights.
Okay, so then he saw this vision in you, and you were like, "All right, that's it. Time to go sling some iron."
Yeah, I was like, well, first I was like, I don't really see that vision. I don't know how you see it. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to see it, and I don't see it. But he was so persistent, and then he was like, just let me train you for a bikini show. And I was like, a bikini show?
He's just trying to do your hair, though.
Yeah.
He's like, I see potential in your hair.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I did the biggest state show in the U.S. and got second. And then I kind of like fell in love with it. And then that was the end of the story.
Now, did you fall in love with weights, or did you fall in love with competing and then just the weights were the necessary means to the end?
Yeah, you know, I learned a lot about myself through competing the first show, especially. I learned that I'm kind of like because I've always been a hard worker, but when I started training, I just became like, I don't want to say compulsive, but I became this this addiction like grew on me with going to the gym and improving myself and living this lifestyle. And that's what like really like, you know what I mean? Like grew on me, and I became like, I don't even know who I was at that time. I was like, who am I? You know what I mean?
But then you'd look yourself in the mirror every once in a while like, oh, the muscles, they're coming. Was that something that you're like, that's really exciting to me?
Yeah. And but at the time, like muscle, like 7 years ago, having muscle wasn't like a thing it is now.
Right.
You know, it wasn't as socially acceptable. But yeah, I liked it.
So just one thing we ask a lot of people is like, who's the first bodybuilder that really kind of opened your eyes to say like, oh, okay, this is a thing. This is possible.
Yeah,
I can look up to this person.
Back then, not that it was that long ago, 7 years ago. Back in my day, you know, it was girls in magazines. It wasn't social media, because social media wasn't the thing that it is now. So it was the girls in magazines. So Jamie Eason, Chatty Dunmore, those were the girls that I really looked up to. like 7 years ago. I mean, I still do. They're amazing.
Right. Yeah. They're still out there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Still doing it.
But and they were not only fitness models, they were also people who were fitness entrepreneurs in their own way too.
They
like
were
they
strong women.
Yeah, exactly. They were out there really owning their name.
Yeah.
Putting a brand out there. Did that appeal to you at all? Is it like
Yeah, it did. But so usually when you aspire, like you see someone and you aspire to like maybe like do what they've done, right? You can kind of like see like their footsteps of like what they've done. But no one had really done the social media thing at that time. So I kind of like wanted to pave that direction because social media started to take off. But they did inspire me for sure.
Sure. So was that like after you did bikini show or two, you're like, you know what? I see there maybe is something here where I didn't see anything before.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm as popular as I am, because I was one of the first females to get on social media and to start that trend. And that's how it blew up so fast for me and grew so fast for me.
Sure.
Right, you got it on the ground floor.
Yes.
Right. But you don't do shows anymore. How many did you do total?
I don't. I did 3.
Okay.
And it was great. I'm so glad I did it.
You don't look back and say, what was I thinking? Because
No.
some people do sometimes.
Oh, really? Wow. No, I don't. It taught me a lot about myself competing, like I was saying before. I just never knew that my mind and my body was like capable of those things. And it also taught me a lot for like when I moved in and molded my business, So no, I don't look back. I'm actually really glad I did it.
So
I don't know how girls still like do shows like 20 shows a year.
Right.
That's like, wow, you're amazing for that. I could never do that, but I'm glad I did it.
When you say that it helped you kind of envision your business and things like that, just because of the discipline involved?
The discipline. It takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah, and you mentioned the mental part of it, and I always equate it to like it's just like running a marathon.
Yeah.
Where you have to not only train, but even when you're in it, you're just so mentally focused on
Yes.
But the difference is everyone enters a marathon just hoping to finish, but then people enter a competition hoping to win.
Right. Exactly.
And so they, if they don't win,
yeah.
They might give it up forever and go gain 30 pounds and just never look at iron again.
Right. Right. So true.
So now, so it's something you recommend to people then? Like, you know what? Try it out.
I do. I really do. If a girl comes up to me and was like, oh, I'm thinking about competing, I'm like, you should. You really should. You might find that you love it.
Right.
You might find you don't love it. You know what I mean?
And even if you find you don't, you might still learn something pretty valuable from
exactly.
it. Right? You also did a lot of model searches. I just found out last week you did the Bodybuilding.com spokesmodel search once upon a time as well. And still recommend that.
Yeah, we should like pull up that video. No.
Oh, there's a video
Insert a photo or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, what did those do for you? That that kind of challenge, because it's a little more abstract at that point, right? It's not like here I am on stage next to you posing off. You're kind of alone,
right? Well, like I said, being from Oklahoma, I just wanted to get my name out there because no one was going to know who I was. So I found anything I could like try to enter in. The Bodybuilding.com thing was really cool. And come to find out, because I'm friends with Danielle that works here now, she was like, oh my God, you went so far, but you didn't do this and that and this. And I was like, oh.
Oh, you could have won. You could have been somebody.
Yeah, I could have. So close. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yeah, exactly. So as you started to, rise up, build your brand a little bit, did you come in contact with your former fitness icons or people? Like, did you find yourself interacting with all of your heroes?
Yeah, I actually, so it's kind of crazy. Ludwig is now my manager, but he was one of the first photographers I ever shot with. And he shot me and Chatty together.
Oh, okay.
And I was like freaking out on the inside. And I would tell him like, oh my God, this is going crazy. And I was like, to her, and I was like, hi. Like, you know what I mean? I had to act like I wasn't like so starstruck, but I was dying on the inside. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Was it a positive experience?
So cool.
Okay, good. Because we've heard from some people
sometimes
like,
when you meet
I met
heroes.
I
Oh,
met
I've
my
heard.
hero at an expo, and he just totally dissed me. And
Terrible.
it just
No
and I
way.
told, who was it? It was Jason Poston. He was like, I met one of my heroes, and I had the most terrible experience.
No way.
But then he met Greg Plitt, and he's like, Greg
yeah.
Plitt saw it, and a lot of people said about Greg Plitt.
Yeah. No, Chatty's amazing. And we're friends now, actually. So it's kind of cool,
Yeah. Did you have an idea of like, all right, when I get this big, this is how I'm going to treat people at that point?
Yeah, I've never lost that mentality because I remember, like for Chatty, for example, she commented back to me on Instagram like a long time ago. And I remember it, like the way it made me feel, it made my day, And so now I always try to comment back to people because I know what that feels like. And it takes like 10 seconds,
Yeah, but it's 10 seconds. I see there's like 1,500 comments on everything you
Right.
do. That's a lot of 10
best.
seconds, man.
I try my best.
I'm surprised though. You wade into the comments and really just kind of touch each person a little
just
bit.
because I know what it feels like, to have that, just even if it's just like a flex emoji.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the difference, I guess, between Instagram and the magazine is you don't have to deal with the hater as well.
That is so true. That is so true. It's kind of crazy. I used to, when I first got into fitness, because muscle wasn't like, on female, it wasn't like a socially acceptable thing. I used to get so much more hate then because they would be like, why do you look like that? You don't look feminine. You don't look like a woman. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But now I feel like there's way less hate. Mm-hmm. I actually posted a photo about a year ago. I took one of a box. I got pretty lean and shredded. And I took like a side photo where I was like, I looked pretty yoked. Mm-hmm. And I was actually so scared to post it because I was thinking like, how are people going to take this? But the picture just went viral. I mean, the Kardashians even reposted it saying like, is this too much? Yeah. But I mean, at that point, it's like good publicity is like, any publicity is good publicity. Yeah. But I was actually so scared to post that just because I didn't know if I was going to get hate for that. And then I was thinking like, why am I even worried about this?
No, I totally understand why you're worried about it because it's potentially millions of people. Like there's a level of exposure that you have now that it's pretty severe,
Right. Yeah.
Like I imagine you have to be comfortable with it in order to be posting as much, sharing as much as you do, but were there ever times like you're just up at night like, I can't believe how many people are looking at me?
Yeah. Well, when I posted that photo there, I did get, because I usually don't get, maybe like every now and then there'll be something, obviously you can't please everyone. But with that photo, I did get like a lot of, oh my gosh, that's too much. Like, why would she do that? And so then I'm kind of like, I'm like, okay, wait, stop, catch yourself. Mm-hmm. The comments don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, So, I mean, I'm human. No one likes to read stuff like that about themselves. Right. It's just how it is. You know what I mean? But I just have to like catch myself and be like, would they say that to your face? Probably not.
Probably not. People are much braver behind the keyboard.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so let's talk about your story a little more. You're still in Oklahoma at this point, but you're trying hard. At what point did you sort of say like, all right, not only is there something here, I need to have like a squad. I need to be carrying around a camera all the time. Yeah. I need to really go next level into this.
It took about a year. So I was still personal training in Oklahoma. I was doing that too. Personal training and just really trying to I was trying everything to make it work. I mean, I literally went to the drawing board and wrote down everything I could possibly do to get my name out there, whether it be Bodybuilding.com spokesperson, if it were like shows, if it were going to Expo and passing out my cards, which I did at Olympia. I mean, I just tried everything I could. And then...
But we're still training on the side.
Yep, okay. Training on the side. And then I was starting my online business as well. So that was sort of taking off. And then I was just doing tons of free stuff as I could. I'd reach out to magazines like, could I write an article for you? I was becoming like a yes man for a good cause. Like if I could do something and it was going to benefit my name or my career or something I wanted to do, I was like all in. I don't care if it was for free. I mean, I still do stuff for free. You know what I mean? That's just the name of the game.
Right. It's hard for people to wrap their brain around that,
It is
though.
hard.
You have to give a lot away sometimes.
Yes. I try to explain that to people when they, ask me about business is people just want to like assume that you're just going to make bukus of money up front. Right. But it took so long even to make even a living off of it. So, yeah. So I just tried everything I could. And then it took me a year before it actually started taking off.
And is that when you started thinking about like, all right, I'm going to start staging fitness challenges or anything like that? Like that's such an interesting component of what you do now.
Yeah. So then I started becoming extremely busy, right? So then after that year, I couldn't personal train anymore. So I was like, well, how can I still train but not be in person? That's when I started online training completely 100%. But then through online training, I realized my clients it was hard for them to stay accountable.
Sure.
Because they're not coming to see me. You know, you're not going into a trainer and the trainer's not looking at you like, did you cheat on your diet? You know what I mean? And then you're like, yes. You know, but over the computer, like it's more difficult to stay on track. So that's why I had the idea to do the challenges. And that's how it all began.
Yeah, challenges they're interesting.
They're interesting.
Yeah, and yours there's good prize money.
Yeah.
It's a different sort of culture. Like we do a ton of challenges around here.
Yeah.
I don't know what is it about the 5 week time frame you like, and what is it about that challenge? Was that something you ever did before?
Where
a
did the
challenge?
5 weeks come from?
You know, well, I did do the like a month challenge for quite some time, and I just felt like I needed to do another week because like I feel like people needed that a little bit extra time to kind of get mentally prepared in the first week. The first week is the toughest, you know, especially if someone's not used to living a healthy lifestyle. The first week is really hard. So I was like, I feel like I needed to add an extra week. So I added, so then it was 5 weeks. And then, I don't know, Fit in 5 just kind of sounded good. So I kind of rolled with it and it kind of worked. And now it's what it is. And then I give out $5,000. And so it kind of has a, you know.
Yeah, because usually you see like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So it's like, oh, it's different.
Yeah, it's different, you know. And, you know, a lot can happen in 5 weeks. And especially when you give out prize money and people are so like focused on staying on their diet, when they achieve those results in 5 weeks, they're like, wow, I did this in 5 weeks. Imagine what I could do in like 5 months.
Right. Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's interesting research into financial motivations.
Yes.
Like it's so easy to fixate on health. What is health?
Right.
Appearance. Well, once you get to a certain level of leanness, you realize your appearance changes every damn day. But money's pretty tangible. Yeah. You know?
Money talks.
Yeah. So true.
Do you feel like that? What does that do for people?
You know, I mean, like I was saying, it keeps people
hoping.
On track. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, what money? I mean, everyone needs some
Who's
extra.
going to say no to $5,000? Come on now.
How many people are involved in your challenges?
About 250. I cap it at 250 people every 5 weeks.
Okay.
Just because I want to give everyone, you know what I mean, like good help.
Yeah.
Throughout the 5 weeks, and if I feel like if I did any more, I might sacrifice what they get. So I just cap it every time. Yeah.
Is it what sort of a variety of people? Is it just completely surprising to you? It's not just people who are like, I want to look like Paige.
No, it's a variety of people. It's so neat, and a lot of the times I'll get people that do like 2-3 challenges at a time, and their transformation over that time is like a completely different person. It's so cool.
Interesting.
My favorite thing is like when I have those people on the challenge, and then now they have like their kids in karate, and like it's like really trickled down to like, you know, all the way throughout their like kids and stuff.
Yeah, I can have ripples where suddenly their spouse is getting in shape, and then their mom is getting in shape. And
but just that discipline that you talked about too, just start like you cannot do something like that and not be disciplined.
Right.
All of a sudden, those priorities start to get
or
reflected.
like, you know how I was talking about like how it's affected even like my business, how and I'll hear those stories too. Like just entering your challenge has helped me be more determined and mindful, and now like I started this business, or like, you know what I mean? So I don't know, health and fitness just has a huge role on not only your health and fitness, but it could, you know, change your life completely.
Sure. Yeah, but social media is weird though too, just because especially on Instagram, it always does come back to how you look a little bit. Like Instagram, more than Facebook, more than YouTube, kind of has its own priorities.
It does.
Has its own aesthetics,
It
and
does.
you're one of the setters of that aesthetic.
I
like,
know.
There's a certain sort of YouTube muscle woman body right now, right? Did you find that you clicked with that initially, or I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the Instagram body is.
Yeah. So, you know, I did help set that trend. But now that I've done it I've done now Instagram for like 5 years, like full time, like as like a career type of thing. But now that I'm 30, I'm not going to say, I don't say I'm getting away from weightlifting, because I'm not, because I still weightlift every day. But now I've moved more into like functional training. And it has changed my body so much, not in the, I mean, obviously I still like look fine, but weightlifting and functional training are completely different of the aspect of what's going to have your body look like, right? Weightlifting is you're targeting muscle groups, right? You're going in, working your glutes. You're going in, working your shoulders. Functional training is more, I do like more full body functional training. So it has
full body training.
Yeah, I know.
Scandal.
I know, right? It's like, but I feel so much better. I just feel so much better. So now that I've gotten older, I've just really incorporated more functional training because I just like the way it makes me feel. But it's not as, I guess, like aesthetically, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like for Instagram, like or whatever.
They can go together though.
They can go together. Well, with functional training, you have to really try hard to get every single muscle group. And with aesthetic training, where you're targeting each muscle group, you know, you can pick and choose exactly where you put muscle. So you have to, it does kind of change.
Yes, but with functional training, you're not picking really, like I'm not targeting here or there.
Flies, because...
What the flies are perfectly functional. Yeah. But functional training means a lot of things to a lot of people. Though.
Yeah.
Like, when you say that, what do you mean?
Well, I've just been doing more functional movements. I've been doing more like, I guess, more like, have you heard of F45? I just started to be the face of the company about a year ago, and I just fell in love through that with functional training. And it's just like functional movement. It's not like going into the gym and like deadlifting your heaviest weight. It's more functional movements. You know what I mean?
Okay, so different planes, more rotation, more movement.
Exactly.
Okay. Huh, interesting.
Have you ever done it?
I haven't done F45.
But functional training.
Yeah.
That's more or less what I do. I may be the host of the Bodybuilding.com podcast, but I've never been good at that style of training. It's just, I'm like, why would I want to go in and dedicate an entire day to one thing and making it hurt the next day? That's never made sense to me.
Oh, it's terrible.
But I'm the wrong person to ask that question. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What do I want to do? I want to play with my kids. I want to go rock climbing. I want to go for a run. That's what I want to do.
It's full of like rock climbers and you know, endurance athletes and all kinds of. It's not just a bunch of bodybuilders.
Oh.
So.
I occasionally have a kettlebell in the baby seat.
Yeah, he's a kettlebell aficionado.
See, if you followed me on Instagram, you know that. But you don't follow me on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, though, like I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram because it's so fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Right? Like
filters, Nick.
Like Facebook is where people go to complain about stuff. Yes. Instagram is where you go to be perfect.
Yeah.
And it's a little exhausting sometimes, you know?
I like that
and
analogy.
So I like once a month I quit Instagram. I'm like, I can't handle you, Instagram. And then I crave it and I want it back.
Here. Break up, then you get back together.
Right, exactly. Do you find you have a love-hate relationship with any of this? Or that you're like, you know, I spend too much time on you. I got to give you up for a day or something like that.
You know, I used to really care about it, but now I don't as much. It sounds really bad to say.
You're accepting? That's great. Hey, it's your livelihood, right?
I get it. I think it's funny that it's so perfect because you know it's not.
Yeah. But now like the thing on Instagram is like showing like how unperfect.
Oh, I know.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Are.
But even like, the unperfect is perfect.
I know, exactly.
I'm so perfectly unperfect, you know?
I always see the ones where it's like, here's with the filter, here's without. I'm like, I can't.
Same. That's so true. That is so true. I know. I mean, yeah.
But you're accepting. You're like, well, Instagram's also like a super time warp. That's the other thing. Like you can be like, and then you look up and it's been 5 hours.
Yes.
Do you do that?
No, I used to, but I don't really spend that much. I mean, this is what I do. Like I'll spend amount of time like commenting back to people because it's important to me.
Sure.
I don't really check DMs unless I have like a, you know, Fit in 5 or something going on. But I don't really spend that much time on it. You know, a lot of people when they hang out with me, you know, I am that person that like I'm present.
Oh, that's great.
And they'll even say like, I'm actually shocked you weren't like on your phone. Like they'll be on their phone more than me.
Right.
You know? But
is that okay? I like that. Is that something that you really intentionally do, or have you had periods where it's like it's a skill you had to learn?
No, I intentionally do it. I have probably 220 unread messages, and that is because when I'm with people, which I'm always with people usually, I'm present. And so then people get mad at me like, you didn't text me back. And I'm like, but it's because like, you know what I mean? Like I just want to be present when I'm with people.
Play with the friends that are here.
Yeah. So
And when you go to sleep, phone out of the room, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I turn it on sleep mode or night mode, and
you're not available. I like this.
Actually, that was one of my earliest mentors. They do not have the phone around them on the weekends.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
People get mad at me too, and I'm like, oh, I don't even know where my phone is.
Yeah, if you ask anyone, I'm a terrible texter. Terrible. But it's because I'm not on my phone. So I'm like, sorry, and then I'll see him. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I didn't text you back. You know what I mean? Because then, so being present is important.
It's social media. It's ravenous beasts, right?
Yes.
They want as much of you as they can possibly get, right?
It's a trap.
Well, but they also it's totally up to you to decide.
Exactly.
How much am I going to share? How much am I going to let you in? We had a woman named Cassandra Martin on the podcast who has like 2 million followers.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't post a word. It's her
pictures.
working out.
Just
and
her.
And
Wow.
I asked her, like, why? And she's like, man, I don't really feel like I have that much to say. You're here, you want to see me work out? That's great. That's inspiration. I don't need to say anything.
Wow.
But you share a little bit more than that. Like, how do you find that line?
Yeah, I started really writing on Instagram. Like when I first started writing, like posting like motivational photos, writing. Yeah, I would write like motivational captions, and that because it just really helped me connect to the audience to be like, to really talk about real life crap, like you're going through, everyone's been through hardship and trials and tribulations, and how you can use that for like fuel to get where you are today. So I really love to write on my photos because it really helps connect with the audience. So I actually like it.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's therapeutic to me too.
And this is something I tell people all the time. Like, everybody has to be a writer now.
Yeah.
Like, once upon a time, you didn't say, oh, I'm a writer, I'm a this, I'm a that. But everybody's a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that hard for you? Did you like, all right, I have to get like this is too much. I'm sharing too much, or you have to practice that skill too?
No, it's so strange. I'll write it, or I'll just think of something on a day that I don't have a post, and I'll write it in my notes because I'll be feeling something, or you know what I mean? Or maybe my friend's going through something and I'll write about it, and I'll just write about it in my notes. And then I'm like, sometimes I'll just gravitate towards like posting this. And then it's kind of weird because then I'll have like so many people be like, oh my gosh, like I'm going through this right now, or oh my gosh, I can really relate to that. So I don't know. I just kind of let like the universe kind of like, okay, post this today. I feel like, you know what I mean? Someone like needs to hear this. It's so strange, but that's kind of how I do it.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. You have like, so you say you kind of have a little notebook or something. You kind of keep your thoughts in.
Yep.
I like that. That's the first draft, and the second draft is on the phone.
Yeah.
You can sit on it for a couple of days and then decide if, it's something that needs to go out. Or.
But you also do a little more long form stuff on YouTube, like where it's 10, 15 minutes even, more personal, also workout videos. Now, am I wrong with this, or were you gone from YouTube for a while?
Yeah, I stopped YouTube for a little while. It's just so hard to keep up with everything. There's YouTube, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, Instagram, website stuff, all your sponsors. It's like there's just like a list of things. So I was like, I don't really, I'm going to put YouTube on pause. But then I had so many requests to go back on it. So I just started it like a month ago.
Okay.
And you're excited.
No, I love it actually. It's one of the projects right now that I'm excited to work on again, because you get to like really connect with your audience on a more personal level. As we were saying, Instagram is like this perfect world where like on YouTube, I can just make a video like, hey guys, I just woke up and I have no makeup on and this is what it is. Where Instagram, it's like,
yeah, for that woman,
you might break Instagram if you do a no makeup one, unless you do hashtag no makeup, and then it's okay.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Okay, no, I like this. So it's for that person who just wants that next level of access or next level of detail.
Yeah.
But also wants to see a real workout.
Yeah. Right? Or wants to get more personal, because like you can't really, writing a caption is cool and posting a photo is cool on Instagram, but you can only connect with someone so much. So I really want people to just know my personality. And that's on YouTube.
When you're actually speaking.
Yeah.
And eating and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sitting around drinking protein shakes, millions of protein shakes. I saw that one the other day. So speaking of food and things, you are pescatarian.
That's correct.
Right? So this was a journey to get to this point.
Yeah.
And we hear from more and more people these days. They're like just stepping slowly away from meat,
vegetarian
and really just or just getting a little bit closer to some meat restricted sort of lifestyle.
Yeah.
What led you to land there?
I've been doing it for over a year now, and I being from Oklahoma, I never, ever in a million years would have thought I would be pescatarian. Like, I mean, I'm from the cattle.
Right, exactly.
Like, yeah. You know, like
they don't have
capital.
fish in that state, I
no.
don't think. There's like, not even a fish.
Not even.
Fish is a kind of cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my whole family thinks I'm crazy. But this is probably TMI, but as long as I can remember, I've had like digestion issues. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm older and I'm like, you know, I moved into like the functional training and I'm just like being more like health conscious with everything that I'm doing. I was like, I wonder how I can fix this naturally because I've had it since high school. And a lot of the things said red meat or processed meats. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut out meat altogether for a month. So I didn't eat fish at all either for an entire month. And I couldn't do it. Like, I was like, okay, this is way too tough.
Right.
Maybe it's because I like went cold turkey.
Mm-hmm. No cold turkey. No cold turkey is not allowed. That was too easy. Come on. I can't get credit for that.
So yeah, no turkey. But I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So I was like, okay, how can I not do red meat and processed meat? So I just did fish. And I did it. And that was like, fits into my lifestyle and it worked. And I just haven't went back to meat since then.
So during that month, were you still trying like prioritizing protein like a good fitness model should, or what were?
I was trying my best, but man, I don't know, vegan. I don't know how they do it. That's tough, right?
A lot of bean burritos.
Yeah,
yep.
that's what I was eating like every single day, bean burritos.
Yep.
Yeah,
but I do 6 days a week vegan, and it's a pain. That 7th
You
day
do?
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then the last day.
And then on the 7th day, I'll have like eggs because
oh wow,
I just miss eggs.
Oh right. See, that's the thing too. I was pescatarian and I didn't do eggs. And I missed it so much because like the only thing I was eating for breakfast like smoked salmon.
Yeah, it gets kind of tiresome, but it's a lot of beans, lentils, rice, things like that.
Girl,
but then
I
you
give
just
you
kind of
props.
switch over and you're right on the digestive thing. And like, people don't believe me. I'm like, just try it.
Yes.
You got to get through that first week.
Yep.
See, people say bean burritos, they're digesting. Like
you got to get through that first week, and then
I guess it's not up to you. You have to ask. You have to ask the people who hang out with you what you should be eating. But I'm a big fan of bean burritos. I will say, bean burrito is the perfect food in my opinion. And I'm somebody I like meat. I love eggs.
Yeah.
I love bean burritos. They're just the best. Like, you still eat bean burritos?
I do.
Let's talk bean burritos a little bit. What's your favorite bean burrito?
Yes.
You know, there's a brand called Amy's.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yes.
Sure.
They have good bean burritos.
You have to bake them forever though. Like they're baking for like 45 minutes.
You do?
Or do you just stick it in the microwave?
I mean,
okay. Well, we don't need to get into that.
then we'll get the people that are like, you should microwave your food.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll get all comments of this is how you should cook the Amy's bean burrito. Never mind the rest of the stuff that we talked about.
The nice thing about bean burritos too, though, is anywhere you are in the world, Oklahoma, Boise, you're never that far from a bean burrito.
Yeah.
And you could go to a place that you're like, I would never eat the meat in this dump, and you can get a bean burrito.
And it never fails. Mm-hmm. It's so true.
Okay. All right. So Amy's is not the most glamorous bean burrito though. Like, what's your favorite bean burrito?
I mean, that's a tough one.
Like you live in LA. There's
I've
some
never had a
pretty
bad
good
bean burrito,
burritos
though.
in California. Big old mission style burritos.
The unknown burrito capital of the world. Like LA has a lot of selection. Also the cupcake capital of the world, but that's a different story. Well, that's where
makes
Sprinkle
sense.
started. Was
Oh
LA.
my gosh.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
all
There are a
started
lot of
there.
cupcake places. I'm like, how is this even possible?
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it?
Interesting. So as you've transitioned toward pescatarianism, what about protein shakes? How's your thinking on that sort of thing changed? Does that feel necessary to you when you're kind of a more selective meat eater?
Yeah,
or is it something that you're like a little...
I try my best to get in whole meals, but I travel so much that it is like really hard to eat 5 like whole meals.
Right.
So it's inevitable to have a protein shake, but I just do vegan pea,
You
pea protein.
See, I'm a big fan of the veggie protein shake. I have to say, I've been coming around a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. So were you into those before, or is that something that you've also sort of landed on eventually?
Yeah, I mean, I used to just do whey, but now I don't do whey because pescatarian.
Right.
So, pea protein.
Okay. And now you're starting your own supplement line, right?
I am.
Vegan protein in there?
Vegan, yes. Just because being like vegan-based for supplements, it has been challenging to find ones that I like.
Taste-wise?
Taste-wise. So I've just decided to do my own.
Well, there you go.
And I feel that in the market of where I am on social media, like the bodybuilding, like that type of thing, no one's really doing a vegan protein on Instagram.
No, it makes sense.
So I was like, there might be like a space here for this because there's vegan proteins in like Whole Foods or your Mother's or, Trader Joe's. But on social media, no one's really out there doing it.
Yeah, and a lot of us who are fans of it end up just having unflavored pea protein or something horrible.
Why would you do that to yourself? We have perfecly good protein
I don't trust
on our website.
This is something I should not admit. I don't trust any protein that tastes good.
Oh.
I want it to taste bad.
Okay. That's
all right,
that's all you. That's in your bucket. We won't even get into that.
This tastes like crap. This is good.
Yeah, exactly. Clearly, this dirt is doing something.
Noted. I'll send you some.
So your protein that you're developing is pea protein?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's a pea protein.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
the nice thing is that anybody, regardless of whether they
Exactly.
eat meat or not, can enjoy your protein.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, I wanted to do pea versus like peanut or hemp because hemp is not a complete protein.
Right.
Peanut, people with peanut allergies, pea is a pretty safe protein for everyone to consume.
Yeah. And there's a lot of blends out there now as well, but that gets pretty
pea,
complicated
rice,
pretty quickly.
I can't remember what the other one they always put in there is. It's probably like soy or hemp, but
There's
Yeah.
Rice is definitely big.
rice is
and
coming
pea
up,
together.
yeah.
And that tastes
sure.
even worse than pea.
Yeah.
it does. It's terrible.
Your rice
Your
protein.
favorite.
Absolutely terrible.
I don't know. I will admit, I like pure hemp protein.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, like it tastes so bad. It's so awful. It is just pure dirt. I like it.
You just mix it with water.
I'll put it in
You
some
should go on the
oatmeal
Fear
or something.
Factor.
Right?
I could.
Oh.
Or like in a fruit smoothie or something like that. It's like,
yeah.
this tastes too good. Then I put some hemp in there.
So weird.
I know. I'm sorry. So I want to try your pea protein though.
Yeah, I'll send some to you.
Okay. What's your favorite flavor so far that you've tried of yours?
Well, I've
Like,
conquered just chocolate and vanilla so far, just because I want it to be phenomenal in water. Like I want you to just be able to mix it in water and it tastes good. So I've conquered that, and now I'm trying to like. Now I see where it is tricky, where vegan proteins are having a little bit harder time having flavors and staying like natural and stuff like that. Now that I'm doing it, I'm like, okay, now it makes sense of why I can't really find like, you know what I mean? Like the ones that taste like cereal, like the ways that taste like Lucky
Right.
Charms. You know what I mean? It makes
Right.
sense now. I get it. So I'm still like making it perfect.
Sure. And once it's your business too, everything is like, all right, how much am I going to dedicate to this? It's all out of your bottom line after
Exactly.
a certain point, So it's a big question, but I was wanted to ask you, like, how has your rise into popularity sort of changed, like how you view, your what you want to achieve, your life, your legacy, stuff like that. Like you were over here, now you're up here. Do you look around and you're like, my dreams are so much bigger now than they used to be?
Yeah. I always have to like pinch myself because I'm like, I can't believe the life that I have.
Right.
I'll get emotional talking about it.
I mean, it's powerful.
Because it's crazy
right?
to me that I've done what I've done. So yeah, I mean, obviously I want to keep growing and expanding my brand. Now I do want to build, like, it's cool that I've built the name that I have, but now what,
Right.
Because my dream was to do what I've done. And now it's easy to like just work on that dream and like maintain it. But how do I rise above and become, more than I am now? And I think that is like building brands. And I really want to get into more. I really want to help girls that want to do what I'm doing. So I'm trying to like find avenues with that because so many girls now want to kind of do what I've done.
Right.
So I want to help them. And so there's just so many things now that I do want to do because I have the platform to do it.
Well, that ties into a question that I like to ask, which is if you could go back and talk to yourself when you were first starting out, like what's like the number one lesson that you learned that you wish you knew
Pea
then?
protein.
I think the number one thing is going through this journey and even like meeting so many people give up too soon. Like I said before, it took me an entire year to even like be able to pay my bills with doing what I'm doing. But I didn't give up, because I wanted it so bad. And I always tell people just if you're doing something, if you're like trying to achieve a dream or start a business or whatever it is that you're wanting to do, don't give up so soon. And if something doesn't work out, you need to try something else because like I tried out for Bodybuilding.com. I didn't get it. Right. You know what I mean? I tried out for so many things. I didn't get it. I did shows. I got, second on the first one, but after that, I almost got last, like on the second one and on the third one, but I didn't give up. You know what I mean? I tried something else. So I just feel like some people give up too soon. And just like when you're like driving somewhere, you put into Waze like your destination. There's so many ways to get there. Just like with your goals, like there's so many different ways and routes to like achieve that. So just don't give up, because if you have this if you feel like you're supposed to be there, right? If you have this feeling inside of you, like, I don't know, I have this feeling, this fire, there's something inside of you that wants it. It's supposed to happen for you. Whether it takes 10 tries or 100, just keep going and it'll happen. Just don't give up.
No, I like that. And that's something that speaks very well to somebody going to the gym and training too.
Yes.
It's not something that 5 weeks is going to be enough for your lifetime. No. You have to do 5 weeks, 5 weeks,
and
5
you
weeks,
constantly have to set new goals.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so I think that's the best piece of advice for anyone. Yeah, whether it's fitness goals, whether it's anything in life, just like keep going and don't give up, and it'll happen for you.
So what else do you have coming up over the horizon that people should know about?
Well, I do have a supplement line coming up, which I'm so excited about.
What's the timeline?
I just announced it too. I mean, as you know, things kind of...
Of course.
Yeah, I mean...
Podcasts. The deadlines on everything.
Yeah, I'm hoping in 2 months. I just finalized on like what the brand's going to look like and the packaging and stuff like that. So it's really cool. I'm really excited. It's been a really awesome process to build something like that, because I've never done it. So I've learned so much.
Yeah.
So I have that. But I have a lot of projects that I can't really talk about yet.
Okay.
But
they're evil.
I don't want to jinx them either. So I don't want to put them out there and not happen. But yeah, I have a lot of good stuff coming up. So just stay tuned.
Okay. Where should we stay tuned? Where should we follow you? Of course on YouTube. Of course on Instagram.
Yeah.
Any place else that you?
Yeah, I have a website. Just PaigeHathaway.com. And obviously across all the platforms, it's just at Paige Hathaway.
And fit5.com as well.
Yeah, you can access that from PaigeHathaway.com, but fit5.com, yes.
Well, Paige Hathaway, thank you so much for coming and talking with us. It's great to have you here.